Welcome to the Only Eye Athletics podcast, the show that values hearing your stories, reliving your adventures, and learning information that can help us improve in all aspects of our lives. I'm your host, Dean Banco, and I know you enjoyed today's episode as much as I do.
Okay.
No,
Or
you're
no?
good.
Okay.
So we have some exciting news in PA this year. A race that I've done a couple years in a row. Well, a couple times now, both distances. Partnered up with UTMB, and today I got Meira and Kristine on, who are the race directors, co-race directors of the race, and I wanted to get the reason behind the partnership, a little history of Rothrock itself, what to expect, and all that fun stuff that I usually like to dive into. So to start it off, if you guys want to give a brief intro to each other or yourselves, whatever.
Sure.
Okay, I'll go ahead. I'm going to jump in front of you, Kristine, even though I said you could go. So yes, Meira Menard. I got into trail running like centuries ago. Actually, it was 2010. A friend asked me to do the dam half with her, and I did, and I absolutely loved it, especially because when we got to the first climb, everyone started walking. And I was coming from a road running background, so I was like, wait, is this okay? And then, as we got further into the climb, like, oh yeah, this is totally not runnable. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, so that got me hooked. And then I just started looking for any and all trails to tackle. And fortunately, we live like at the, epicenter of trail central USA. So there was a ton to choose from. And that's when trail racing was really starting to explode in the area. Dean, because I remember you from way back. When did you first get into trails? Like, was it around that same time?
17, 18.
Oh, okay. You're a little fresher. I mean, your legs
Yeah.
are quite a bit fresher than mine. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So that was the beginning, and then I had this neighbor. Some of you might have heard of, named Craig Fleming. He lived around the corner from me in Hauserville at the time, and he was race director for Heiner, which was already a huge thing. But he had also started Rothrock here in 2009. So I missed it in 2009, but in 2010, I got involved with it and being part of the race committee and helping out in different ways. And that was when it was 30K. Originally, the course was a little bit different, and then it changed to a 25K. And then when Craig moved to Woolrich, then the race kind of was defunct for a few years, and we brought it back. So that's how I got into trail running, and I'm fortunate to have an amazing group of trail runners, one like right in my hood, and Kristine is one of them. So I'll pass it over to Kristine, and she can share her journey with trail running, or her discovery.
Yeah, my discovery was like meeting my now husband, Kelly Kennedy, at a music festival in Virginia. And he told me about doing these like long distance run things. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I'm here for it. But I was very sure that I wouldn't be doing it. And actually, the very first time I watched him, like cheered him in for a race, was Rothrock. And I remember like standing along the finish line and being like, I'm so here for this, and I'm never going to do this. Like, so I'm just watching people who are coming in like in various states of like abilities still, and like kind of happy, but also clearly in pain and like bleeding a little bit. And I just was like, I just couldn't, like, I legitimately couldn't wrap my head around being out there for the number of hours that people had been out there for. And I didn't even know really, I don't think I really even had a good sense of like the trails or the course maybe at that point. Maybe I'd been on a couple hikes out there. So I remember saying to him, I think it was that day, I was like, look, I am here for this, and like I will cheer you on and I will come to all the things, but like if it makes a difference for us in a relationship, like I won't be doing this. And then and then he got me to run Sproul 10K, another one of Craig Fleming's races. And uh and I thought it might die. I was like, I don't know, am I going to be able to do this? And then I finished, and John Schaefer was at the finish line with like cold water spraying everybody, and then everybody was like having a party, and I was like, oh, this is trail running, like I'm in, like count me in, you know. So yeah, here we are. And then I've been running with Meira for many years now, and involved in Rothrock, and I'm actually the volunteer director for Rothrock, and Meira and Scott Sheeter are the race directors for. And then Sam Patterson is our first aid director. So that's the team. And yeah, and I'm so happy to have stumbled into trail running in Pennsylvania, of all places. I think it's such, now having run a little bit outside of Pennsylvania, I'm like, man, we are so lucky here to have the access to trails and free nature that we do. It's incredible.
Well, you guys are like you said, you're sort of in the hub, and
yeah,
not even, I don't even want to say it's like the good hub, because it's part of the hardest part of PA too.
Yeah.
So it's not even
Yeah.
it's easy. So if you're trying to dive into trail running, it's actually not really that great of a place to start, because
I think we have the most rocks per square foot of any place in the state. Yes. So it's kind of like learning to ski at Tussey. If you can ski Tussey, you can ski pretty much anywhere, because yes, very, very challenging. But
so I mean, it is good, but it's also bad at the same time. I guess depending on how you want to look
at it.
The
ankles and the knees and yeah.
I see it as positive in the sense that now when I go run anywhere else, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I can do this,
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Yeah. It's all relative.
So you were talking about Tussey Mountain. So would you give people a sense of where the race is actually located in PA?
Yeah. So it's called Rothrock because it's in Rothrock State Forest, which is the state forest we're surrounded by here. But yeah, we happen to have this great local ski slope, that's where I learned to ski when I was 4 years old. It was called Skimont back then, and all they had was a T-bar. But yeah, so it starts and ends at the lodge there, well, by the pond. And it's one of the most, I think, not that I'm biased, but it is a truly amazing setting and place to host a race, and also just to have an after party. It's just and we've been fortunate in that Tussey's been a great partner this whole time, and in fact, when the race was on break, Scott Sheeter, who's the co-race director, and I, both missed it and talked about bringing it back. And he's on ski patrol at Tussey, has been forever. And he's like, hey, this could be a great fundraiser for ski patrol. So that was, kind of part of our motivation for bringing it back. But yeah, Tussey's been a great partner, and it's a great venue. It can host a lot of people. I don't know if you've ever come up for a wing night, Dean, or anything out. They have concerts, they have an outdoor amphitheater there. But yeah, it can host big groups. So yeah, we're lucky that that's, for me, 11 minutes down the road.
So I guess what I was going to tell people, it's 5-10 minutes from main Penn State campus. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. Because I am right by campus where I live in Hauserville, and I just get on the bypass, and yep, 11 minutes away. So it's right outside of Boalsburg. If you've ever, that's one of our, historical villages. But Boalsburg is also, hosts some races. They have the memorial. They have a Memorial Day race that's been going on for umpteen number of years and kind of thing. So yeah, it's just outside Boalsburg.
And if you ever go to Penn State, yeah, you should be able to see the ski slopes in the background of the stadium, and maybe some of the mountains. So that's, anybody's ever driven by, that's sort of what you're in for, I guess.
Exactly. Yes. Like when I, in fact, when I drive home from campus, like when I go to by the stadium, go to turn down the hill, like, yeah, it's just this epic view of, well, Nittany is more in the foreground, Mount Nittany, which is pretty famous around here. And then Tussey and yeah, the Tussey Ridge in the background. So it's all lit up at night this time of year, which is nice with the ski slopes.
Now, is it going to be the same start and finish as it was before?
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
That's why, yeah, we want to keep it where it is because it's just such a cool setting. And also it's important to us to like have the party be, you know, at the finish so that like everyone can cheer all the finishers coming in. You know, I've been at races where you're like separate and it, you know, you just feel disconnected and like, yeah, want to be part of one big family there. So yeah.
All right. Sticking with the theme of the start finish line, what can people expect at the start finish line? Is there going to be like a big, like you're saying, like a camp out or anything like that? Is there going to be like more facilities now with the UTMB partnership?
Do you want to take that, Kristine? Because I'm just realizing that I'm monopolizing and babbling.
No, you're okay. There will be more, like there'll be more of a what they call the base camp or an expo. So we're working on finalizing like who all will be there, but basically the idea is there will be like a larger registration tent and you know, they're partnered with Hoka, so there will be like a lot of like Hoka merchandise and like UTMB merchandise available, and then there'll be other tents available for local businesses as well. So there will be more of a like a village, if you will, than there has been in the past of you know, different local organizations that want to be there and interact with the runners as well.
Yeah, and it'll be, you know, it's because we have a 50K, because we're adding a distance. So now we have two distances on two different days.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of expanding to a 3-day event because like Friday will be, you know, bib pickup and the expo will be open there. And then, you know, Saturday will be the 50K, Sunday will be the 25K. But yeah, there'll be stuff there all 3 days for runners to check out.
Now, with it being a bigger event, I know this question's probably going to come up and people are going to want to answer because UTMB is such a huge following from different areas. Is there going to be any like shower facilities nearby, like maybe being able to use like the ski lodge or something like that?
Yeah, the probably not just in terms like the infrastructure at Tussey, I don't think could handle that large of numbers. So yeah, that's something like our partner hotel, one of our partner hotels for people coming in from out of town is the Wyndham that's right across the street, actually, across 322 there. So and then the Ramada, which is right down the road. So yeah, like runners, if they want to get squeaky clean, we do have the pond, you know, can still jump in. That which is how I clean up after the race. But yeah, in terms of that, not so much. There will be a lot more porta potties, though. I will tell you that.
Yeah, there was always a line, but I mean,
yeah,
yes. But now, one of the unique things about this race, or features, I guess, that runners partake in, as you're touching on now, is the pond itself. So, if it's a unique thing, as I say, is there's a pond like maybe what like 30 yards from the finish line, if that, that people just sort of as they finish run into and dive into, get cool
it's just
off,
an extension of the finish shoot. Yeah,
and that's allowed 100%. You know, still going to be allowed.
it is. We were kind of disappointed. They used to have that little dock that you could like. I mean, it was pretty little. It was like a foot above the water, but like that people could run and jump off. So we got some good cannonballs, and I think there were a couple flips back in the day. But yeah, now it's just a 0 entry. But yeah, still there. Yeah, still an option for those who choose to take it. There's also, you know, the risk of instantly cramping up. which has happened to me as well. But
Yeah, because I think it's almost a rite of passage for people who've never came to the race before to partake in that. One of the memories I remember, like Keith Corey, just like walking past the finish line. He didn't even say like hi to anybody. He just went like right in there because he was just like, I need cooled off, and it was just
Yeah.
bam.
Yeah.
yes. And that's gotten me through the race. Like I'll start thinking about that pond, about especially in the hot years, about halfway through.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, got that to look forward to.
Looking forward to getting in the water.
Oh, but before I forget, people don't know the stuff that I'm wearing today. They got on their shirts as well. I got the old past race swag. We all decided to rock out today.
Yeah.
In our full-on Rothrock gear.
So the tie-dyes, for the first 3 years we did the sleeveys just because we wanted something different than the usual t-shirt. But after 3 years of that, people build up a good sleevey collection. So then, Dean, you're wearing like I think the fourth year. Then we did the singlet. Well, that was the third year, that was the second year. Third year was the fourth year was that singlet, and then last year we had like the cotton tee, Rothrock tee that had like on the back it listed all the trails that you cover during the race, which is quite a few. But I'm hoping to still. My daughter and I and her friend are the ones who have done the tie dyes in the past, and I'm hoping she's a grad student at Penn State and very busy now these days. But I'm still hoping I'm hoping we can still do it, and we want to keep that. We want to keep that part of the legacy.
Yeah,
part of the tradition.
So I'm going to skip around a little bit here, since we're talking about swag and stuff like that. What kind of prizes or awards are going to be handed out this year with the new partnership, if any? I know sometimes UTMB and stuff like that, bigger races, they really don't do anything, but I don't know if there's going to be anything different this year.
Well, so they're going to do medals, which is something we haven't, that they typically do at their, races. That's the traditional UTMB medal, which are actually really beautiful. And we've been working with them on the design of that and the shirt, because runners will get a shirt. So it's going to feature the fire tower, because that's kind of an iconic part at the top of Spruce Gap. And then, because it's a UTMB race, there are the running stones that people will earn. So like 50K people will get 2 running stones. And then the top 3 men and women will get like automatic entry to OCC, which is like the 50K race at UTMB in Chamonix. And the 25K people will get 1 running stone, and that can only be used for OCC. It can't be used for the longer distances because you kind of have to prove your ability to run the longer distances. So
And those stones, that's very important in the running world then.
It is. I mean, it's like golden tickets or lottery tickets, or those are. They basically are lottery tickets, so they give you chances, to get into the big dance. I know at the end of August every year. So the Super Bowl of trail running. So
the love-hate for that race. So you would love to do it, but at the same time, do you really want to put yourself through that and spend all that money to go over there and get beat up?
See, aren't you kind of curious, Dean, to see
Yes.
how, we're talking about technicality and stuff? And I think didn't Reagan McCoy went and did it?
Yeah.
Did he do OCC this year?
He did OCC, yeah.
And did anyone hear from him, like how he felt like the technicality compared or the trails compared?
He said he liked trails in Pennsylvania better. He also, though, I think, Dean, I don't know if you talked to him as well, I think he didn't have great weather, so he didn't have, because for me, those trails, it's like the views, right? Like, it's like everywhere you look, you just have this like alpine glory. Whereas I think there was fog and rain, so I know that he got the full experience in that sense, but that was the impression I got. He was like, I'd rather just run like World's End or something.
Well, it's a lot of pressure for him to perform, or anybody from our area to perform over there.
Oh, that too. I know. I know. It's
especially
so,
him,
yeah, I know.
because you know how I love him. He's great, but he just has no stop.
No stop
He's
button.
like he's like Zach Miller in the same sense that once you get them running, they're redlined the whole time and don't know how to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no pace control, no restraint. And because didn't he just was he in Black Canyons last weekend,
He
I
was. He
thought?
did Black Canyon.
Oh,
Yeah, do we know how that went? We don't.
I think he did not get his goal time.
Okay. Because that's the other thing is like that's a totally different climate.
Yeah,
Like if you're
I
coming
know.
from PA. So that's it's not you don't have to worry about altitude, but it is like just the dry heat.
Yeah.
We're not used to that.
No.
Um,
And I don't know how humid it is sometimes at Rothrock. I mean, that could be an interesting dimension for
yeah,
some people.
it can definitely zap you out up in those mountains. Is there any other history of Rothrock um, that people should know about or that you want to share?
um, I mean, yeah, I mean we have had some pretty big names come through, and, including Zach Miller and David Roche won it one year. Keely Hanninger ran it. So yeah, there's been some pretty legendary people that didn't come back. They're like, I'm gonna move out west now. So yeah. So there's a pretty cool history. I know, like, yeah, they're the La Sportiva team like used to come up when, because that was one of the race sponsors back in the day with Craig. So they got some sponsored runners that, came up, and that was always fun to see them battle the locals. And so yeah, yeah. And, the course has gone through some changes over the years too. But yeah, we really like the current 25K course, 16.5 miles. For those who have to be who like preciseness, but like it's just thing I love about it is it's just got such a good variety and diversity of terrain. And like just when you get tired of like, okay, I got to get off the mid-state, this is starting to drive me crazy, all these rock, you get a cool flowy descent, you get to run through the ferns, you get to climb climb the cliffs of insanity. So yeah, it's just a good mix, I think. We can kind of break it up, we can kind of chunk it.
Yeah.
Now, how do you? Well, before we get into the course itself, um, how did the whole partnership start or come about?
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, it's the Happy Valley Adventure Bureau that invited UTMB. And we, then Eric from the Happy Valley Adventure Bureau got connected with Meira. And so when they came to town, this was in the fall of
Yeah,
2020.
I'm like 24.
Yeah, fall
Yeah.
24. So their North American team is a team of like 3 humans, right? Like people tend to think of it as this like huge corporate conglomerate, but it's quite small actually. And so they came to town and we went to lunch with them, showed them around the trails, asked a lot of our own questions because, we were I think we had some healthy skepticism and wanted to understand like what like it's like when you're dating, it's like, what are your intentions?
Yeah.
Because, we all, I mean, they often comment on how passionate we are, and we're like, yeah, we're passionate. Like we have a very special thing here in Pennsylvania, and like we want to make sure that that remains like the I don't know, like a feature or a highlight or that remains the core of what we're doing here. So anyways, it's sort of the conversation kind of went on from there, but it took a long time to actually come to a place of like, yes, we're going to do that. And it, I mean, Mira can add to this as well, but like we've had a lot of questions and discussions, and it wasn't an easy decision necessarily, but at the end of the day, it was kind of like this opportunity was presented to us, and it was an opportunity that allowed us to open up these trails that we all are so passionate about, really, to people from around the world, which really, on our own, we probably weren't going to get there necessarily, nor was that really like our intention. But when that was offered as an opportunity, we were like, well, how else are we going to, and also the fact that we're always like, gee, I wonder how like some of the pros would do on these like technical trails. Like that would be so cool to see. And it's like the chances of getting pros here has now like increased, with this opportunity as well. So yeah, it really started, it was really sort of like presented to us as an opportunity in a way. And then it was coming to a place of like, yes, like we can see the positive benefit at the end of the day, and we can see the opportunity to like leverage the resource that UTMB brings to just make this like a great event for everyone, and to like show off, our community, and show off these trails, and the I don't know, the great spirit that we have here in the trail running community.
Yeah, because UTMB owns what, Ironman now, or vice versa,
Yeah,
right?
it's actually
They call it a partnership.
they call it a partnership.
So they partnered in 2021.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, UTMB partnered with Ironman, because that also enabled UTMB to kind of grow and expand, and give, opportunities to more trail runners. So, yeah.
And where I was going with that is Ironman now has that race at Penn State, the college, which I said was like 5-10 minutes away. So, like, I don't want to say the partnership was already there per se, but like you saw what they did for that area or that specific race. So it sort of probably eased your mind a little bit, like what they were going to bring, and they weren't just going to be all smoke and mirrors type of deal.
Right. And so, yes, the two events are definitely connected in that, yes, Ironman already had a presence here. They were familiar with the area. They knew like that it could handle large groups of people, because that's another challenge with like trail races in central PA is a lot of them are in pretty remote places, and it's like hard for people to get to in lodging, all those things, especially when you have people coming from, globally from other countries, from overseas. So yes, there was already that connection was made through the Happy Valley Adventure Bureau to have the Hap Iron here, and then that's why the conversations were started to have a UTMB event here. And also UTMB was looking, they only had one race opportunity on the East Coast, which is Grindstone in Virginia. So they were also looking to expand their presence, so that more East Coast runners didn't have to travel as far. So it was, yeah, I think we worked really hard on this race for 5 years, and we love our trail family, and we love, people that would come back year after year. But at the same time, we felt kind of like, gosh, it'd be cool if we could share this with people that don't already know about it and haven't already experienced it. And, just seeing that, like, we're having people coming from China and Austria, and like, I mean, it's kind of mind blowing and just super exciting, because like, yeah, our trails are amazing. And that just to get the opportunity to, share that with, a global, population is pretty exciting.
Yeah, because I mean, from my understanding, it's like you guys are still in charge, but it's just more like the brand is a way to like promote it, I guess.
Yeah, that was, why we were initially skeptical, because we were like, we like what we do here. We think it's a great thing. We don't want it to become, this kind of characterless, event, kind of cookie cutter event. And they are very much like, and I got to go to one of their Speed Goat in Utah and see it, see it being demonstrated. But like, they work really closely with the race directors of all the region, of all the national series races, and they are all original race directors, like that they very much realize that like we are the ones that, you know, know the trails, know the people, know what gets people excited about the trails around here. And so they, defer to us.
And who's going to be taking care of it, you know?
But they can reach a much larger audience with their, with their marketing and with, so yeah.
Yeah, because they're not going to like send a crew in to take care of the trails. It's still going to be you guys.
No.
Yeah. So it's
unfortunately not. And that is the other thing with the East Coast races versus West Coast is like, and like, it like changes daily, like the condition, terms of trees coming down and stuff. So yeah, it is
I think
more of, I think,
sort of what people were worried about when they first heard the news is things were going to change and it was to become like, I don't want to say, I want to say more like a TV sporting event type deal than like an actual like essence of what made Rothrock great itself. So would you agree that it's basically just gonna stay the same, but have more notoriety attached to it?
Yeah, I mean, we heard all of those reactions, and but I mean, you can't control social media and you can't control the trollers and the haters, but it was quite frustrating in that, it's the same race, it's the same course, it's the same people, you know what I mean? Like, so, but people, I think they just, have a trigger when they hear Ironman, when they hear UTMB, you know what I mean? And so, and to that I say, come check it out. Like that's what we're like, well, like, come see for yourself, like, give it a chance. Cause, I just think we're just really excited. We're really excited to have, to be able to expand to a 50K, and showcase more of the trails. Cause there's a lot more, there's a lot more to show off here. So yeah.
I mean, I will say honestly, when I first heard it, I was like, no, because like I thought, having done the race a couple times, I thought like the essence of you guys being in charge of what you guys brought was going to be thrown away. But then I sat down and thought about it. Like you said, this is like one of two races on the East Coast that you can collect stones if that's like your ambition to go over there, do UTMB or OCC, CC, whatever, all those letters.
All the acronyms.
But it is actually, to me, a great opportunity for the area because we have such a huge trail running community. We have nothing like this. And again, there's only one other race on the East Coast. So people, I don't want to say people should embrace it for that factor, but it's a unique thing that people didn't have the opportunity necessarily before, and now that they do. Because what, what's the race on the East Coast? I was thinking, I forget what the UTMB. What's the UTMB on the East Coast?
Oh, Grindstone.
Yeah, Grindstone.
Yeah.
So you're looking at anybody from like our area. You're driving what, 8 hours to get there, all that travel time, hotels, staying over and stuff. So this, to me, I think, with the great community and the thousands of trail runners that we have, in that, just even in that central PA area up north, it's such a great opportunity for people to showcase and showcase their abilities on like a world stage now that nobody's had before. So
yeah,
like,
and I think like, trail running as really just the global market has really exploded, over the past 5 years. And a lot of that has to do with technology and the live streaming and the satellite, like bringing it into people's homes and people getting to see I mean, this is how I spend all my free time. It's like watching, these different races all over the world and like just getting to see a different terrain, different culture is just, I don't know. I just feel like it's very mind and soul expanding, and just to see like the universal spirit of trail running like shared between people that maybe can't communicate verbally but can communicate through their running. And yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like as I sat down and thought about it more, I was like, this is a great opportunity. Even if like somebody for like me, you know, I'm not saying that I would ever win because the UTMB elites are so much better, but you know what I mean? Just to think about it, like go up against somebody
Yeah.
like I don't know, like a Jurek or even Zach Miller comes back, just being able to like race and compare times, it just brings open so much more opportunity that I didn't have before, and compare times from year to year. What the times that they put down. So maybe like I don't get to do it this year, and next year I get to do it and say, hey,
Yeah.
shoot for this time. So it's yeah, I think it's actually a good thing when I sat down and thought about it. So I wanted to say that so that you know where I was coming from. Like at first I was like, I was like, no, I was like, because I'm a big
That was
grassroots.
that was a typical reaction. But yeah, I think a lot of people like yourself have like taken the time to like, yeah, really think it through and learn, about what's happening. No, it's not a takeover, like no, it's we're not giving up, the race or the character or anything. I mean, we're still running it. We just have a bigger platform to share it. And yes, like I totally agree. Kristine and Kelly and I and Miss Carol went up to Breakneck Point a couple years ago because it was like the World Mountain Running Championship. Like it was one of the qualifying races, and we're like, we got to see the Hemmings, like we got to see all these amazing runners, and like it's just so inspiring. And if you're a fan of a sport, to have the best of the best there, to be able to witness that like up
Without
close,
having to spend 10 grand to go somewhere,
Yeah,
like
right?
to go to Chamonix.
or even going to like eastern, or I mean western states or something like that, or
Yeah,
Cocodona. It's
I
like
know.
you're spending a couple grand just to even watch.
The significant investment. And yeah, in that sense too, like I feel like the decision ultimately was made because we felt confident we could maintain the spirit of the race and that they would support that. And that, now it's on us to just do what we do bigger and better, and for more people from around the world. And like that is so exciting. Like, and I think there is something to be said too about like we talk about um I think a lot of people like to think that trail running is like a very inclusive sport and place to be. And like to me, inclusivity is like quite broad. Like it means, is it inclusive for a number of different reasons and a number of different people who are coming to things from a number of different perspectives, and I think this event tends to maybe challenge that for some people, but I just hope people keep an open mind and come help out, check it out. As the volunteer director, I'm going to plug that obviously we would love to have people come and help out on the day of or on both days, either day, or just come spectate and check
Any days.
any day, any days.
Once the ice and snow
Yeah,
recedes.
trail work days. We have lots of
Yeah.
days available. But yeah, like it would be yeah, it would just be great to um yeah, throw an awesome event and see what comes of it, like it just feels like a really interesting opportunity that would have been I don't know. I don't think it was the right decision to say no to, it's sort of similar to you. Like I think when it first came up, we were all kind of like, oh, I don't know. And then when we started thinking about it and like understanding where UTMB was coming from, and then really thinking about like the amount that we can actually now give back to the community that we couldn't before, in addition to, yeah, just creating like this, you know, cool event for people to come hang out in these amazing woods that we all love so much. It's like, yeah, it finally did become an easy yes, but it took a while to get there for sure.
Yeah, 'cause if people don't know, race directors in PA, their races that they race direct, that is uh, like a child, a husband, a wife. Like that is their like baby. Like they want to make sure it has everything it needs and they take care of it 100%, and they don't want anything bad to happen to it. So if if you're from out of state and you don't if you've never done a PA race, or you're from Europe Asia, South America, Africa, Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know, like a PA
All the
race,
continents.
like race directors want you to succeed. Well, maybe not Ben. But like it is their baby, and they want to make sure that you have everything, you got everything, you have a good time from start to finish, and even during registration. So, and I guarantee if you're hearing this, these two will make sure you still have that experience, even if you have the reservations. I guarantee it. And I wouldn't say that lightly without knowing you guys. They will make sure you're going to have a good time. You might be a little hot, sweaty, get overheated.
Maybe a little resentful, a little bloody, a little bruised.
At some point, you may not be thrilled, but eventually, when you look back on it, you will.
When you get to the after party.
Yeah, the after
Which
party.
we are
really
working hard at work on.
I
Yeah.
was just going to say, we're really working hard at making sure the after party is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we could get into the course a little bit. I know I've done both courses. I've done the short course and the long course. And let's just say the start sucks a little bit, or it did. How we go up the road and then we hit that, like, what is it, 1,000-foot climb up those rocks.
Spruce Gap.
Oh, it's rough. But it's one of those things that I also love about the race, because I don't want to say it thins the lines out, but it's just a unique way to start the race.
Yeah.
Because you get those people that want to jet out from the start, and then they like red line and blow up. So you have to be sort of smart about it. So can we go into a little bit of like describing the course and different sections of it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what you're talking about is, yeah, the start is, yeah, you are running up the fire road, and it is a climb. I have always actually appreciated that start because I think it actually saves people a little bit, because they can't just like torch themselves, because it just gets steeper and steeper. Like the roads, it's a good grind, but then once you hit the trail,
Yes.
yeah, and you hit Spruce Gap climb, like, yeah, it's, hands
that's
on knees.
That's what I meant. I didn't know what the road is, like not the road itself, but the
yeah, Spruce Gap. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Sucks.
Notorious Spruce Gap. Yes. Yeah. So that I think, yeah, it just it's, let's call it a good thorough warm up. It's a good calf stretcher, and yeah, it just it does get the blood circulating, and then when you hit the top and you go by the fire tower, then you can cruise down, the descent. You have a descent, and then you have another climb, which is kind of how this race goes. There's a little bit of a seesaw, but there are some nice, there are some runnable sections in there. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, there are. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it is quite technical, and also there are some really, I mean, I think all the sections are quite beautiful, but there's also some very like flowy runnable bits as well, which is lovely.
Yeah, I would recommend people not trying to go out hot. And I will challenge any person who comes to the race, whether you're a beginner or world record holder, to run that hill to start the race.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, if we get many people. Like when I went to Speed Goat in July with Scott to check it out, and yeah, a lot of people are out on the course, checking out the course the day before the race and running around. So, and that's pretty accessible, that first climb. So hopefully people will take it upon themselves to, give it a little test run.
Yeah, I think that's something that's sneaky about the course stats is like the elevation maybe doesn't seem like that much, or, like when you look at the course profile, it's like, okay, there's a couple climbs, but it is that sort of like you're climbing, you're going down, you're climbing. Like there is a lot there's something about that repetitive, and that's like PA racing, I would say, is very much that, is that like we don't have big mountains, but we have steep mountains, you know?
Yeah, I would say right around that first aid station. I think because I'm looking at the profile now. That's is that coming off a road? Like you cross a road, or is that
Yes. So yeah, the first aid station is, yeah, you come down, pretty steep descent, and hit the road and make a right, and then it's probably like a half mile on the road.
but until
And
you
it's
get
just got a
there,
slight uphill grade.
but if memory serves me right, to that
Oh
first
wait, you
aid
froze up,
station.
Dean. Or at
Oh,
least
got me now? Oh, you good?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, until you get to that
Yeah,
first
you're
aid.
just frozen, but I can hear you. What about you, Kristine?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can see you guys good. You guys are all still
Okay.
moving. So,
Okay, good.
but that probably the rockiest part of the whole course is that first like 5-6 miles.
Except for the Cliffs of Insanity. I mean, if you're talking about the short course, yeah.
But the short course doesn't really factor into.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that's true. It doesn't factor in anymore. I'm just, I wouldn't say that. I think it's a I think it's a recurring theme throughout the race.
Yeah, yeah. For the well, all right. So we'll say like the first 5-6 miles till you hit that aid station, you should know how to run on rocks, or you're going to be tired of running on rocks by the time you get
Yeah.
there.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're not going to be able to autopilot any of that, you know. Yeah. You're going to have to think about the choices you're making with your foot, your feet placement. Definitely. Yeah.
So from there, I wouldn't say it gets easier, but can you go on from there, like what people are going to expect? Because my mind's, I can only remember the short course because that's what I did last.
Most
Yeah.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to remember once you've done it.
Yeah. You have, so after that aid station, you have a good climb, and you'll cross over the mid state, and then you'll come down another nice descent, and come in and hit Charcoal Flats, and which is, you're getting into the Shingle Town section of the course, and that from there you have like a pretty nice long, I wouldn't say flat, but relatively speaking, it's flat. It can be kind of muddy and swampy because it's by the stream, and there's a lot of the rhododendrons really thick in there. So it is, nice and shady in the heat. Yeah. And that will take you, go along that for a couple miles, and then you'll make a left turn, and that's where you start the climb up to Mount Mist Trail, and where you're going to come down the Cliffs of Insanity. And that's where we have, I mean, those are the big, giant boulders, that there is a rope there for people who choose to use it. But yeah, you're going to want to be sitting back a little bit. Although, we have had people take video at the bottom of those cliffs along the creek there, and there are people that bomb down those cliffs. Like, I don't know if you remember, Dean, what approach you took, but yeah,
Usually I think if there's a rope, I have at least my hand, it might be loose, if anything, as like a guide. So that way, if I do get a fall, I can just collapse it real quick.
Yeah. There are trees for support. So that part's exciting. But then you're like down in Shingletown, and where the next aid station is, and that's just, I think one of the most scenic parts of the course, or one of the most unique kind of ecosystems and environments. Like it feels like you're in like Jurassic Park, you know. So that, yeah, that's one of the coolest sections. But then, you know, you can't enjoy it for too long because then you have to climb the cliffs on the other side. And that's where the rattlesnakes, you know, they say hi. Sometimes they say hi, but usually they when they hear all the commotion, they go into deep hiding.
Yeah.
Now that
Do you remember coming up those cliffs, Dean? Because those are ones where, yeah, I mean, they're like boulders, so you kind of
you can't run it at all. It's not a running section by any skilled person ever, if I remember right. Yeah,
unless you have superpowers like Matt Lipsy, and you're like,
I would like to see that go up that.
Yeah, because I was looking at the pictures now on the website. I think coming down the boulders, there's a picture of it on the actual website of like 4 people.
Yeah, so that's coming, down into, I think that might be Terry.
Yeah.
Elkin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's in that picture.
Yeah, so that's coming down into before the climb.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, do you know Lance Harshbarger or whatever? He was Momentum Photography. I don't know if he still does race pictures anymore or not.
I remember him.
Yeah, because he used to come and there was another guy, Mike McNeil, was that his name? He was another photographer, and they would camp out there on the cliffs of Insanity where you're climbing up. And so they got a lot of great shots back in the day.
Mike always moves around different places. Mike might, well, I don't want to speak for him, but he shows up. He always looks for different areas to take pictures of. So he does his thing. He does a real good job. I see him still out and about. I'm friends with him online, so I see him doing his.
Yeah, so he's still out there. Yeah, I know he's been at pretty much all the the races. He's done some great pictures at Frozen Spot.
Mm-hmm.
So with the new course portion, which is basically doubling the previous distance, what is that going to be like?
You want to take this, Kristine?
I mean, you're going to get a lot of the same fun features as the 25 course. And I would say that the doubling, like the additional mileage in the 50K course is, I'm going to say, more runnable. Like there's definitely, it's not like the whole thing is as technical as I would say, like, I mean, in UTMB terms, it's a 20K course, the other one. So, but I mean, it's cool because it does just get you out a little bit more into some of the like additional areas in Rothrock to see. You get to see like Bear Meadows, which is a really cool sort of, again, like ecosystem within the park that's quite different than anywhere else. And what else? You get to use some of the Rothrock Trail Alliance has been busy building new trail out in Musser Gap and connecting like Whipple Dam to the trails in Rothrock, which is like incredible. Like we had so many awesome trails to begin with, and now they're coming in and creating new ones. And those trails are very cool because they're like switchbacky and like relatively runnable. Because they're also meant to be like really good mountain bike trails. And so you'll get to experience some of those new trails. You'll
get to run along the ridge.
Get to run on the ridge, Tussey Ridge, which is super cool. Hopefully it's a clear day because the views from up there are pretty spectacular. You can see sort of like the ridge lines off into the distance. And you get to visit the iconic beer tap, which is on the ridge, which I will just leave it at that. You'll see what it is when you get there. And what else? Are there other features that I'm missing?
Yeah, like the John Wirt Trail.
The John Wirt Trail.
Right, with the rhododendron tunnels and Bear Meadows Trail, like going around Bear Meadows. So it's a lot. There'll be some more views, some new trails. So we're just super excited because there's there's just and if we keep building on, out from here, like, there's just endless miles of amazing trails that we can expand to. So this is, we're just so excited that like a lot of these trails that we love to run, on our day-to-day runs, we're going to be able to incorporate them into the race. So it's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah. So what you see this year, you may not see next year, like with the trails.
Oh, well, I imagine we'll keep the 20K and the 50K the same, but we may also add 100K. So that's
they should be the same.
Yeah. Unless
25K is perfect. So
the 25K, it's tried, tested, and true. This is the first year.
No one's gonna mess with that.
So I mean, I think
the 50K is I'm super excited. Kristine's husband Kelly has designed it. He is a mastermind.
Yeah, because like you said, there's endless possibilities. Just not even necessarily racing, but going up there and exploring on any given day. Like you could probably spend weeks up there to even hit all the trails.
Yeah.
Yep. And they look different in reverse. So
yeah. And every time of the year they're different.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. All right. One question that I always like to ask before I go to a race is, how do you guys flag and / mark the course?
Yes. So that we're going to stick with, and UTMB is good about that too, because they're different races in the North American contingent are all different kind of terrains, from desert to high alpine to that kind of thing. They have different ways of marking, but as we know in central PA, you have to have a lot of marking and a lot of very visible marking. So I'm going to stick with I found like the pink and black stripe, flagging tape is the best option in terms of visibility. Although, we'll always have the colorblind people that can't, have trouble with that. But like, we can't really use green or yellow. There's a lot of shades that would just disappear. So, and then, all the intersections will be marked heavily with both like ground flags and the flagging and arrows. And so UTMB will have UTMB designed markers at the intersections that'll be, UTMB themed and eye-catching. But the courses, because they're on different days, are just going to stick with, and there's overlap. The start and the finish is the same for both. And then the courses, they diverge probably around, it's off of the mid-state after the top of New Laurel. They diverge, but then they re-intersect again. And so at Shingletown. So we're going to keep that the same.
Now, you were saying about the flagging. So I can't remember. So you hang your flagging then?
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So, yep. We'll have flagging like hanging from branches and trees. And then, in past, I've just done the pink ground flags and arrows at intersections. And so we'll have a UTMB version of that at the intersections too. And, also volunteers at any critical junctures as well. So we don't have the course split anymore between the long and the shorts. That was like our main, confusion point or whatever, but
Getting into the volunteers a little bit and / aid stations, can you describe some of the aid stations, like what is going to be offered, what to expect? Because I know, again, this is another one of those PA things. I always tell people, you won't find better aid stations in another state. You might see some cool ones, people dressed up in other, like Black Canyons this weekend. You had some people, but I would say, maybe I'm biased, but our volunteers and aid station people are the best in the world.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we want to carry that tradition forward. And the aid stations are, I would say, like from a what's on offer perspective, won't be that terribly different, although I believe the UTMB nutrition sponsor is NAC. So I believe it's going to be NAC products.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be supplementing with, the usual, although that's still to be determined, like exactly what's going to be offered at each aid station. But yeah, we're definitely, like, I just had a meeting today with Sam to talk about aid stations and like who's going to lead which aid station. And, our goal is to make sure that they're well staffed, well stocked, and vibrant, like that they're welcoming and exciting and people feel like these people want to help me out, because there's nothing more disappointing in my mind is like, coming upon an aid station that just is like tired and quiet.
And that's where like Kristine and Sam and, are selective about the crew at the aid stations. And because like we're keeping it local and it's still going to be local volunteers and stuff, it's like, we're going to have people out there that are outdoorsy people that know, how you feel at mile, like 23, and what what you're going to need and what they can do to make your life easier, because they've been there. So I think that's also important too. And also like, just being, clear and enthusiastic and like informative. Like, I've come through aid stations and I'm like, which way do I go? Like kind of thing. And yeah, we want it to be one of those things where like, people, don't have to think where that's what the, people, the aid station people are there for is, to be guides, to be, nourishers, to be all those things. So.
Now, would you say most of them have trail running experience then?
That, and we also have like a strong mountain biking community here too that's like very involved and also in helping maintain the trails around here too. So it's kind of it's a nice collaboration. There's a lot of overlap actually between the people that do both. So there's people outdoorsy. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, all I was saying is that we were fortunate in that like there's just a lot of outdoorsy adventurous people around here.
Let's see. Now I know the last time I did it, like you already touched on the snakes a little bit, but I think that year 4 or 5 snakes that I jumped over.
Oh, that's a big year. Count.
So like that is one thing that I don't know if you want to touch on it a little bit more just to be cautious, because I know one of them or two of them were in a laurel section, maybe like near a spring, not a spring, but whatever you want to call it, the little water feature that goes across the trail.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's always like the bees and stuff like that. You never know with the big rocks. Just to like make sure people were not scared away, but cautious of the possibilities.
Yeah, I think, the trails are going to get, have a lot of activity leading up to the race in terms of, marking and clearing and stuff. And then, the rattlesnakes, they're definitely, the Cliffs of Insanity is probably where they're most, notoriously located. You will, in terms of like more, the rhododendron trails and the stream trails, like we also have a lot of black snakes, which are, not threatening in any. I mean, their sizes and their look can be really threatening, and they're good at simulating the rattle. of the rattlesnakes. But yeah, a majority of a lot of the snakes that you'll see out there are non-poisonous, non-threatening. So
Yeah,
and then
don't
bees, like
harm them.
that's one thing we haven't actually had incident with. Like,
I think it's a
shockingly.
little bit early maybe for the bees.
I don't know. Yeah, because like I got massacred at what was that, Boulder Beast this year? Like, and I have a whole new appreciation for that. So yes, yeah. Hopefully, knock on. I don't know.
And I will just say for the rattlesnake thing too, like I used to be, well, I'm still a little bit scared of them for sure. But the more that I see them and the more that I realize like they're just not interested in, like, no rattlesnake wants to actually bite you. So like unless you're like in its face and like kicking it, like gonna it's not gonna it's gonna rattle at you because it doesn't want you there. But like the number that I've seen now that are really just like, you go over there and I'll go over here, and like that's cool, you know. So yeah, just remembering that like they're really not out to get you, but you need to just keep your eye out for them because you don't necessarily want to step on one. But I mean, even people have stepped on them and they still don't bite you, you know. So
And please don't harm them if you hear this.
yeah, no,
I
I mean
Yeah,
they're
know.
part of our
no throwing sticks. Just be like,
no, they're part of our ecosystem, and you know, we're disturbing their environment, and you know, they're just trying to get some sun.
yeah, because I
Yeah.
think if
Coexist, people.
Yeah,
and if you ran any races in PA, you're going to run into rattlesnakes.
yeah,
With
totally.
the eastern states is notorious for the
Yeah.
rattlesnake den. Like I tell people
Yeah.
the story all the time. Is I was pacing my buddy John,
Yeah.
and we got stopped by two guys in front of us. And there was like two mating along the trail, which is always an
Oh.
interesting story.
Awkward.
So it's just,
Ah.
yeah, if you ran a PA, you're going to run into snakes, and I don't
Yeah.
want to say bears because yeah, that's few
Yeah,
and far in
I mean,
between.
There's a few out there, but yeah, I don't think they'll be around with, you know, the number of people that are going to be running through
no,
them.
I love all
And
wildlife. I'm always hoping to see them, but I
I
think I'm just too loud a person, Dean. I don't see them nearly as much as I'd like to. I did see two porcupine on Mount Nittany the other day. I was very excited about that. But
Oh,
I've never seen them during the race either. So
okay.
Yeah. So, with this being a PA race and the particular terrain that it's held on, which we all know what it's like up there, how should people prepare for like the rock gardens, the hills, and stuff like that? Is there any tips that you want to say, hey, you might want to incorporate this a little bit into your training or practice with it a little bit?
um yeah, it's interesting. Like when I first started trail running, eons ago, um the descending on rocks was you know it's almost, it's as much mental as physical, I think. Where it's, you kind of got to build up your confidence and just it's like muscle memory. So it is something like if you just practice it, you know, even if you don't have that many rocks, I mean, you could just go to a rocky place if you can find one and just do, cycle it. And just, yeah, get to the point where like your proprioceptors and your muscles kind of be like start to recognize it, and this is what we've got to do, and kind of thing. But I think any like balance exercises you can incorporate into your strength routine is also just awesome to do. Not just for running, I mean for running in general, but like, yeah, I think definitely. I was running with a woman at Call of the Wilds this year, and she actually like owns, she's from State College, but she had moved out to Colorado, and she had opened a Pilates studio. And we were going down one of the crazy descents. She's like, oh my gosh, my Pilates muscles are really coming in handy here. Like, and it's true. Like, it's just do some cross training kind of stuff. Like core and balance is
Yeah, core strength.
definitely key to success on these trails.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely noticed. I think for me too, I am not the most fearless of descenders, and it really is like some of it is just practice, but I do think like strengthening my core and just like having that like strong foundation really helps. And also I would say like with the number of sort of steep climbs and steep descents, like just practicing like hiking up steep stuff, you know, and maybe even like the name of the game these days seems to be rucking, like putting on a weighted vest or a, you know, a heavy backpack just to, you know, help condition your legs a little bit. That could be another fun activity to add to your
Another character building activity.
yeah, another character. Just build your characters.
But Dean, also speaking of which, Kristen and I will need to go soon because we
Yep.
actually have a body combat class.
Yes,
Yeah.
Where we're gonna work out our aggression, our trail aggressions.
Yeah, there was only like maybe one or two other things.
Yeah.
Is there any, I know you probably can't give specific names per se, but is there any elites that you know of or any countries that are coming that you know of yet that you're allowed to say?
Yes. So I don't have any elites that I can out yet, but yeah, we do get like the demographic data, and yeah, we've got a lot of countries represented. We have there's a good Asian contingent. We have I said Austria, the Netherlands, who else did I see in there? Dominican Republic. There's actually a good amount of Canadians I saw in there today,
Really?
Kristine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I can actually pull it up. Yeah, it is like kind of mind blowing and very exciting. Here, wait, I'm gonna pull it up and look. See if I missed any. Oh, I have to sign in. But yeah, there's apparently Australia is represented as well.
Wow.
So yeah, it is. And I did, when I went out to Speed Goat, it was really cool seeing like just going out and exploring the course and seeing or hearing all the different languages that were being spoken out there. I was like, whoa. So yeah, okay, I'm pulling it up now. Oh yeah, well yeah, we've got United Kingdom, Mexico, China, Australia, Austria, Puerto Rico, Netherlands, France, Dominican Republic. So yeah, of course, Pennsylvania is the highest is the highest represented. But and there's a lot like the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania trifecta.
Oh
There's
yeah.
a lot. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of Canadians too, eh?
Boy.
Yeah.
Is there going to be any live coverage at all?
We don't know about that yet. Like, of course, we're pushing for it. Because I think it's almost more important for the lesser known races than the ones that people already know about. Just so people can actually see the trails. But it is also, we have discovered a very expensive process. So and the film team is actually based out of France. So we will lobby as best we can. I think we will have local runners. We'll have some GoPros out on the course. So we are going to be capturing it and have our own footage, if nothing else. Yeah.
And if nothing else, I mean, even I don't want to commit to the race yet because I don't know how my training's going this year. But if nobody else does it, I could always set up something at the finish line as like a continuous stream at some point. As long as there's, I don't know what the service is like. I can't remember up there, but
it's great actually. We're really lucky that way. The whole course has pretty good cell phone coverage, and so yeah, we're good on that end. So yeah, and the other issue is like it is hard to do drone footage with all the trees here, like versus some of the big, even like UTMB or the races out west. So we understand that too, but we'll do our best to capture it as much as possible.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to. If nobody else will do it, or like UTMB does it, I could always try to set up a camera, even if it's just a live feed from the finish line, for a couple hours, just to,
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
be
People
so
love seeing themselves on camera. So I'm always like, go away, camera. Don't look at me. But yeah.
guess that's about it. Is there anything else that you guys want to add that people might not know, or just a little tidbit or anything?
I just if you haven't been here before, you got to come, and if you have, we're excited that the event and experience and the magic is going to be even bigger, and more inclusive, and so yeah, we're super excited to share the magic of Rothrock with more people.
Oh, one more question. Easy one. What do you have a cap on the race? Like how many people can be there?
Yeah, so we should we've had to we have a much higher cap than we used to, but yeah, like think they're approximately like 550 per day for the races, so 1,100 total.
All right, yeah, because I was looking at that, trying to look at that the other day, and I didn't see that. That was one of those little things that, not that it matters, but it's just one of those. Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to overwhelm the trails. So, and that's the other nice thing about having it on 2 days. Spreading out the races and stuff too. So.
All right. Well, I guess that's all I had. I mean, I think this will put people's minds at ease that it's going to be the same Rothrock, but a little bit bigger participation wise, I guess. Right?
Yeah. And yeah. We're just we're going to have more, more trail family.
Inviting more people to the party.
At the trail table with us this year. Yeah. More whoopie pies for everyone.
Yeah.
So,
and
thank you for reaching out to us.
Yeah.
Dean,
thanks for the conversation.
And for repping with your singlet and your sleeveys. And we appreciate you, asking some good questions and learning more about what's going to be going down come May. So, yeah, hope you can join us in some way. Sorry,
right.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, join us on May 16th and 17th.
Yeah.
And also volunteer opportunity live. So feel free.
Yep, you can. Yeah, we're going to have work days, and you could come explore the trails while, contributing to the event.
All right. Well, I mean, I plan on being there in some fashion.
Awesome.
I would like to do the 50.
Hopefully in the fashion that you're wearing right now.
Hopefully in that fashion on the 50K course.
Oh, that'd be too hot. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for the time. And if I don't see you by then, well, hopefully sooner than later. But if not, I'll see you guys then.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the episode today. If you or anyone you know has any amazing stories, adventures, or interesting information you or they may want to share, please reach out to me anytime. On the next screen, you could scan the QR code or type in the Linktree website to easily find all the social media locations Only iAthletics is located. Take a second and hit the follow button as you visit each one.